Is it on? Oh, no, T.S. Madison might get us for that shit. Hey, everybody, it's Deep Think Discussions. It's me, Roro.
And this is Alizar.
And today we're going to talk to y'all about bottom shaming and you misogynistic motherfuckers that keep this shit going.
Yes, this was actually a requested topic from our comment section. I think it was also mentioned in our live streams that we'll do on the weekends, sometimes Saturday, sometimes Sunday. So if you're interested in hearing what we have to say about something you want to hear about specifically, show up, comment, like and subscribe and follow so we can talk about your request.
Because this is definitely a request of ours, too. This shit finna be funny as hell. So, I'll throw the first bone in the fire. I don't fucking understand bottoms. Oh, shit. My microphone, child. Oh, hang on, y'all. Let me get myself situated.
Speaking of, what do you drink today? Since the children want to know.
Oh, yes, that's right. Hello. Yes, I'm sipping on some Sailor Jerry and a little bit of Dr. Pepper. Just with a fresh squeeze of lemon, because, you know, I got to do something about my metabolism.
Yep. And I'm still working on that chocolate slurm from Raw Garden.
Ooh, the slurm.
The slurm, girl. The slurm.
Ooh, Futurama better pay us some coins later on in life for that shit. So back to bottom shaming, y'all. So I don't fucking understand this shit. Like, I mean, you know, as somebody who's team verse and more, you know, team verse top, because bottoming fucking hurts, even though I know I got a can back there. I don't fucking understand this shit because to me, like, first of all, bottoming is like the most manliest shit that I can fucking think of. I don't actually consider it to be feminine at all. Like, like, how many of y'all have taken a 9-inch, not even a thick one, just a 9-inch dick in your ass? That is some manly fucking shit. You are sitting there in pain, walls getting stretched the fuck out, threadbare, might be bleeding a little bit depending on if the motherfucker has got, you know, if he's been moisturizing it or if the condom is dry or whatever, if there ain't enough lube. So you already hemorrhaging internally and everything. And then you got the nerve to want to throw it back on the motherfucking dick, ride the motherfucking dick, throwing all your body weight into it, dropping it like it's hot and all this shit. And motherfuckers want to be like, oh, bottoming is so feminine and everything. Bitch, first of all, pushing through pain is feminine? Like, what? Huh? The fuck? Pushing through pain is feminine. Causing yourself an internal hemorrhage, they're like, literally, you hemorrhaging, you bleeding out for the dick is feminine? That doesn't make any sense to me. And then let's not talk about, like, I don't necessarily want to heavily involve gender, but last time I checked, if you getting fucked in the ass as a gay man, you're a man. And if you're a man, that means that you do male things. Don't necessarily understand why bottoming is considered just feminine. It doesn't make sense to me. I would just think that this is the thing that you like to do during sex.
No, you're right on. And I think the reason you're bringing up the femininity thing is because I think that is attached to it. Because the reason it's deemed feminine is because if you compare it to heteronormative relationships, the general idea of receiving at all is associated with women. And with that comes all the baggage and misogyny about it. So that's why people think that.
But that's so stupid. Like,
But that's all
literally.
it takes. Why? That's
But
why
how
they
many?
ask.
That's why they asked what?
Oh, I said that's why they ask things like, "Well, who wears the pants in the relationship?" And
Be like,
they ask, "Who's the woman?"
you know, which our response should be, which one of you guys is the sociopath and which one's the one that fakes the orgasms? Should probably figure that one out. But like to me, that's so stupid because like how many straight boys now, and I know babies, the ones of y'all that are listening, I'm talking to y'all. Y'all the P going after trade or whatever the fuck y'all want to call it. I don't understand that shit either, to be perfectly honest. Don't nobody want a straight boy because he don't wash his ass. But speaking of an unwashed ass, how many of y'all know about what the fuck stinky pinky is? How many dudes do you know, or how many of your homegirls that you know that when they sucking their boyfriend's dick, the boyfriend wants a finger up his ass? But that's supposed to be, I mean, y'all don't want to talk about that shit, but that's supposed to be some straight shit. I mean, literally to me, if you putting anything in your butt, that's no longer heteronormative. That And that's the other thing. Like, can we please stop basing homosexual things and social life and just our everyday interactions off heteronormative activities? Yes, they're able to reproduce, but clearly it's not working out for a lot of them anyway. How many people do you know are not in successful relationships, are infected with children, balding early from fucking stress, can't get their bills and everything paid, and they out here hoeing around for no fucking money?
I'm sorry, did you say infected with children?
Yes, I did. You were infected with children. Fucking got crotch goblins and everything, and then the kids got the nerve to be dumb. You sitting over here, I don't understand why my little boy is so dumb. Look at his daddy, girl. Let's not even look at you. You picked the dumbest one out of the bunch, but you thought he was cute. Now little Billy can't say his ABCs in a straight line.
But yeah, sorry, the infected with children caught me for a second. Um, but yes, it is stupid, but that is what we do. And that's why there's the whole like anti kind of femininity movement in the gay culture, is because again, it's just some straight up misogyny stuff. You know, I, I wish I could explain more to it. I wish I could expand upon that further. But like you said, it's just dumb shit that we've carried over to our own community, all the while wanting to have freedom within our own sexual escapades and understanding of relationships because we don't have those ties, but because I think it's hard for people to navigate without a direction or without an expectation or a focus. That's very hard for people to feel normal in the gay world in its relationships without it being a one-to-one to other things they're familiar with.
I mean, yeah, there's the psychology behind it because that's pretty much what we feel is a successful example. But at the same time, successful or not, it should not be something that applies. And the whole thing is that I don't understand why toxic masculinity is a fetish in the gay community. Because what is hot about a guy who literally surrounds his entire personality around being mean, around being abusive, aggressive, and pretty much all out dumb and unfeeling? Like, what makes you attracted to somebody who can't emotionally connect? And also for the people out there who are toxic masculine, like, y'all are dumb as fuck. Like, you want to sit here and tell people, oh, well, that's not masculine, or I don't bottom because blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, you want to know what? You probably don't bottom because your puss is trash. Like, let's go on ahead and start with that. Because a lot of you motherfuckers be out here flat-assed as fuck, limp-dicked and everything, but you feel that if you hide it behind the shield of toxic masculinity, that nobody is going to notice and everything's going to be fine and people will just love you based off of the fact that you're a top. And to me, that is the stupidest fucking shit that I've ever heard. Because to be perfectly honest, I'm actually kind of very into this top shaming movement that's going on because bottoms are sick of your shit. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, I didn't go and get picked on in high school for being gay to get out here into the adult world for the shit to continue, for me being gay and wanting to do or be effeminate. And
Facts.
and the whole thing is, even if I'm effeminate, that's my fucking choice. Now, I'm speaking on my own personal experience. Being verse wasn't exactly my tea. That wasn't like my first option. I've not always been first. I started out bottoming, like completely. But to be perfectly honest, I just got turned into a top based off of the fact that sex wasn't consistently available. This was something that I wasn't sure if I liked or anything because it had never come up. I tried it, I liked it, and I went with it. And I've kept that as part of the thing, as part of my sexual identity. But do you want to talk about effeminate? Like, I'm shaped like a chick. Like, I buy girl clothes all the time. Like, all the fucking time. First of all, you motherfuckers, like, let me just drop some knowledge on y'all real quick. You straight bros out there, you dumb as shit. Okay? You dumb as shit. Especially when it comes to finances. Girl clothes are so cheap and such good quality material. When was the last time you saw a girl walking around with a hole in her jeans? A hole in her shirt? Some unwashed shit. Some shit that wasn't fly. I mean, aside from the fact that they're held to a ridiculous and crazy ass standard, like, when was the last time you saw that shit happen? You didn't, because the clothes that they buy, and that girl probably wears that same pair of jeans with that same shirt and them same tennis shoes every fucking Thursday. But you want to know what? Every time you see it, that shit look fly as fuck. Good quality material. Why is a girl not broke all the time behind her clothes? Because girl clothes tend to cost a whole lot less than male clothes do. Girl jeans stretch. And if you're a fat boy, you know that jeans that stretch are a godsend, especially if your thighs touch. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Wearing that area out in between your thighs, getting them rips and everything, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Girl clothes stretch. A nice pair of stretch girl jeans will run you $15 to $20. A nice pair of Levi's for a guy is going to run you about $65. Do the math. But you guys are so afraid to touch anything feminine whatsoever. And I'm specifically speaking to you toxic masculine males. Y'all are so afraid to touch anything feminine to the point where, like, y'all don't want to do anything feminine to the point where, like, y'all are questioning whether or not you should wipe your asshole. And, like, now I done seen some fucking, like, actual, like, bro hole information going around of you motherfuckers putting pads in your drawers to keep, like, dingleberries and unwashed ass drippings from ruining the rest of your underwear when you could just wipe your ass properly.
I mean, that's the whole part of it too. I think the big issue probably has to deal a lot, and I'll make this akin to like black conservatives. I remember it was some time ago, there was a bunch of memes going around, and there was even a movement about this. What was the name? But essentially, it was a movement within the gay community of very, very, very masculine men feeling ostracized within the gay community for not being gay enough. And much of what they meant by gay enough had to deal with hobbies and items and interests that were all feminine coded. Like I remember one of the people who was a part of this movement being like, "Yeah, I just can't get it. I don't like gay music. I'm only into like old school's rock and roll. But like if you ask me to listen to Britney Spears or Ariana Grande or so and so, like that's just not me. That's not gay enough." And it's like I thought we were past the point where interest in hobbies and music didn't belong to a particular sex, let alone a particular sexual orientation, let alone some division within that orientation. So to me, a lot of this bottom shaming essentially comes from self-hatred, the fact that you may not quite fit in enough with your own culture, but on top of that you deem that most of what your culture is either feminine or hypersexualized or into shopping and fashion and clothes and drag queens. And because it's not about cars and other masculine ideas, all of a sudden you hate any association with that. And unfortunately, for a lot of that, that includes bottoming.
Which, babies, if you out here as somebody, as a verse person, let me explain to you something. You actually don't know how to top until you actually know how to bottom. So until you get somebody who tops you properly, you don't actually understand the mechanics in it. Like y'all get in there and you're like, dick goes in the hole, dick in hole feels good, he feels good. That ain't really how it works, boo. You actually need to be jamming the back of his prostate, rubbing on his prostate. You need to actually be fucking the back of his dick through his ass. I know that's probably going to be mind blowing for a lot of you motherfuckers. But the whole thing is that is what you were supposed to do as a top. And until you actually bottom, figure out where your prostate is, how to get it stimulated, keep it stimulated, what types of dick will actually stimulate that and everything, you don't understand what you're doing. You don't understand that when you finger a guy, you're low-key looking for how deep his prostate is in there, and that will also figure out if you need to put him in any positions. Can you hit it from the back on his side? Does he need to be in all fours? Like, what have you? Like, you are missing out on the other half of the conversation that should be sex, and you are probably out here giving these bottoms bad sex, but then you wonder why bottoms are so flighty, don't want to come back, don't want to talk to you, act like they don't know you the next day. Well, I'm sorry, Kyle, you just wasted 30 minutes of my fucking life, and that's even if I got 30 minutes. Like, not to mention the fact that you guys do not understand all of the hell that bottoms have to go through to clean out, because most bottoms subscribe to the program where we're not going to eat for 3 days. We're going to up our psyllium husk intake and or laxatives. We're going to do all of that. We're going to eat salad, ice, and our feelings for the next 3 days so I can be ready to bottom for the weekend. Then I'm going to set a dick appointment with 3 tops because 2 of them will cancel for sure. And the one that will probably make it through is going to give me some mediocre stroke, and it's not going to be worth me not eating for these last 3 days. But I'm going to go and get me some fucking nachos after this motherfucker leaves. Y'all don't actually take that into consideration. You literally think the bottoms are walking around here just horny as fuck the whole fucking time, just waiting, sitting over here praying on dick, waiting for it to show up, and here you are, come down from heaven with, this, 3 minutes worth of the best strokes they're ever gonna get in their life, and you don't realize that this motherfucker is looking at you like you a goddamn garbage panda.
Well, the problem is enough of the bottoms aren't treating them like garbage pandas because, I mean, there is the part where, as much as there are a lot of bottoms that aren't just sitting around horny waiting for a top, there is a general understanding that tops are outnumbered, that they are more of a rarity in the community. You can't trust half of, if not all, the versatiles. And so when one presents himself, some people fall into that trap because the 3 minutes of C plus stroking was like the last time they would get some in a while. But the reality of the situation is that as the majority, you have no reason to be shamed. And again, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, they ain't a top until they inside your butthole. Don't believe Ondor's lies. Unless that dick ended up in your butthole, they are a top only in label and on the site. Unless you watch porno and then you saw it.
I feel like that was an attack on the verse community. I
It's
won't
not an attack.
stand for this. I will not stand for this slander.
First and foremost, you can tell that to the graveyard of versatile sitting in every app I'm on that have yet to hit me up. Why? Because I haven't fucked them. So I can send you screenshots. I will gladly send you pages of versatile men who look at my profile but say nothing because I am not a top. So I understand you might be the golden child of versatility. I'm letting you know your people doing you wrong. And that's all I have to say. This ain't about you, honey. It ain't about you. But your
It
people
sounds
fucked
like
up.
it sounds like my people have been doing you wrong. I'm so sorry. Verse people, y'all have to remember the charge. You have to remember what we are charged with. We have to show these bottoms that they dick matters, and we have to top these tops so they're not out here giving out bad sex. Now, when we flip the script and we go over and we top a bottom, or we bottom for a top, we also have to be on point and show everybody our whole fucking thing. Like, you got to put everything the fuck down. But I'm straying too far from the fucking topic. Like, y'all have got to stop doing this fucking bottom shaming shit. Like, and it's almost like part of like everyday conversation. And that shit really gets on my nerves. Cause I'm over here like, they're like, oh my God, she's so gay, he's a bottom. Or he's such a queen, he's got to be a bottom. First of all, aunties, let me tell you something. There is nothing in the world more joyful, would bring me more joy to do than to sleep with an effeminate top.
They will wreck your guts.
Ooh, Jesus. Bitch will put, I mean, and especially, like, let me get me a real, like, one of them, like, what, the lady boys. I think that's how, I think, I don't 100% know what the new label is, but it's basically like boys who walk around wearing skirts and dresses and all of that stuff, hyper feminine, in a sense, I guess is the best way to describe it. Them motherfuckers usually have a solid 12 inches of dick to start with. It's usually like 12 by 5. And they will wreck your fucking guts. Like, literally, you will sleep with one of these motherfuckers and y'all start fucking at like 1 p.m. At 8 p.m., when this motherfucker takes a breath and you can finally breathe, like, he's like, ooh, I need to take a little break. How you doing, baby? You okay and everything? Yes, mommy. That's the only thing you ever gonna be able to say. These boys will fuck you the hell up. Like, I have never, like, the best sex that I've ever had in my life has come from a feminine gaze. And the whole thing is, yeah, he might be pushing your head into the pillow saying, yes, sis, get into this dick. Let me rip that pussy. But you want to know what? He ain't fucking lying. Sis ain't fucking, sis is not telling you this shit because sis don't know what the fuck is going down. Sis will wreck your guts, have you calling sis mommy and doing, and sis will actually, the other thing that y'all like are missing about effeminate gays is like they bring so much to the table, because aside from the fact that you will sit over there and braid her hair or do something crazy, like, you know, braid her hair, buy her some perfume or some shit because she done fucked you so good you think you pregnant. Effeminate gays bring so much good stuff to the table. Like, for instance, making sure, like, have you ever seen an effeminate gay that ain't got their shit together? Like, looks-wise, their fashion be on point, hairline is always crispy, skin's moisturized, they don't wear, if they wear makeup, their makeup is blended to the gods. Like, I mean, they got that face painted all the way down into their shirt line, nothing shows. Hands, they ain't never got dirt under their fingernails or anything. And, you know, I know some of y'all think the dirt on fingernails is attractive. Baby, you want a yeast infection? You want some fungus in your butthole? Let a nigga with some dirt under his nails finger your ass and see if you don't end up worse for wear.
Also, aside, before anyone tries to do anything in a butt with your fingers, trim your fucking nails. I'm not here to be fingered by Wolverine.
Amen to that. Like, but the whole thing is like feminine men keep everything together so much. And the other thing is that feminine men, like, a lot of y'all miss out on this shit. See, y'all let that video about Stonewall with that white boy in the middle of it confuse the fuck out of y'all. Y'all actually think that they took that video down because they didn't want us to know the truth. It was an effeminate, gay, trans person and a stud that gave us our rights today. They're the ones that fought for our rights today. They're the ones who stood up for us. So if there's an effeminate gay walking around, recognize them as a recipient to the legacy that has been left unto you. Because if it were not for the effeminate gays, it wasn't the mass bros who were out here doing shit. The effeminate gays were the ones that fought and stood up, and that's why being homosexual is no longer considered to be a mental illness, and it's actually considered a sexual orientation. So back the fuck up off them and miss me with this bullshit about bottoms need to be shamed and, oh, she's so effeminate and everything. If it wasn't for an effeminate bitch, you wouldn't have any fucking rights. Your ass would still be wearing them fucking, like, what are them, not the puka shell necklaces, but you know which ones I'm talking about, the little shell necklaces. Y'all be walking around here wearing shell necklaces, trying to figure out who the hell was gay, sucking each other off in bookstores and in dark parks behind the fucking rock, getting your dick sucked. That's what the fuck we would still be doing. We wouldn't be out here able to have houses, lives, marriages, rights, all of that shit. But y'all want to clown the effeminate gays. When 9 times out of 10, the one who, and then it's always the ugly motherfucker that's talking. Like, I can understand if the 10 in the group was the one that was speaking up, talking about the effeminate gay. I could understand that. I might even give that a mini pass if it was the hot boy in the group who was actually saying some shit. It's never the hot nigga in the group that's saying anything. It's always the ugly one. And y'all know which one I'm talking about. That medium to extra smugly friend that y'all have. Never has his hair cut. always looking a mess, musty as fucking hell, 24 fucking 7. That's the one that's always like, ooh, so and so is so gay, they must be a bottom, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you want to know what? That young gentleman over there has got his shit together, hair is on point, I'm loving his nails and everything else, and at least he don't fucking smell like all of outside. I realize we in an outside bar, but I don't need to smell I don't need to smell the sewers of Paris right now. And that's what's coming out your fucking armpits, bitch. Like, calm the fuck down.
Girl, there's so much to cover, but to get back specifically to bottom shaming, and I'm going to go back to misogyny because I do think that is key because, and I think we talked about it before even on the live stream, but for a very long time in various different places, you weren't gay unless you were the bottom. Like you had guys out here topping, essentially dodging the homosexual um, stigma, the homosexual punishments, the homosexual consequences, all because they were the ones that were shoving it in. If you were a bottom, you were the one that was gay, you were the one that was in trouble, you could be the one that could get persecuted. There was even stuff like that that even goes all the way back to Greece, allegedly, where even things like that was still happening, where there was that stigma. Um, there's parts here because I'm also reviewing some stuff, girl, because I had to refresh myself on some of the stuff that I knew just to make sure. Another thing that was a big part of it too was the idea of how we're treated. You mentioned, being bullied for being gay. A lot of times when we're bullied for being gay, what are we called? Feminine related stuff. You're a fairy, or you're a pussy, or you're being too much like a girl, or all this stuff. And then, of course, when you look at, you know, gay people, whether in media or in big scenes, that femininity is normally attached to being a bottom. So I think all this stuff is just kind of universally wrapped into the idea that even as gay men, as much as we say we love women, the sexist, misogynistic bullshit has just been created into some crap on our own. I mean, hell, even HIV stigma is a big part with the fact that, the contraction of HIV was considered to be higher risk with bottoms. If you bottomed, there was a higher chance you'd get it. So therefore what? Now that's a whole problem.
Isn't that last part, though, isn't that backed by science? Like, I could be wrong,
Yes.
but okay.
No,
I
no,
was
it is
like,
backed by science, for
okay,
sure.
I was like, wait.
But that
Okay.
adds to it though. Because now it's like, oh, if you got it, then clearly you must be a fucking slutty ass bottom. Or some shit like that.
There, you're a cum dump or some stupid shit like that. To me, the whole thing is, I don't know about you guys. I don't want, when I'm looking for a bottom that I want to, be with and hang around with, I want him to be on cum dunk status. But I want, by that, I mean this. I want him to want as many loads from me as he can possibly get. I don't necessarily want him taking all the loads from everybody that he knows. But, like, if we're going to sit here and we're going to be in a relationship, if we're going to be intimate with each other, then yes, I want somebody who is, if you're going to be the bottom in this, I want you to be cum hungry. I want you to literally suck all the fluids out of my body to the point where I start shooting out dust and air bullets. Like, that shit to me makes fucking sense. That's what you should want from a bottom. But you guys want to sit here and be like, oh, fucking horny ass bottom, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but I don't understand why that's a bad thing. Like, oh, he's a slut. And it's just like, again, he's a slut. Yeah, he's a bottom, so he's got to be a slut. But isn't that what you want? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but have you ever had sex with a virgin? It's horrible.
Yes. One thing I just wanted to throw in real quick is what you're bringing up again is the double standard that we see because here we are, tops are this, bottoms are this, the bottoms are slept. Where else does that double standard happen in society? How about men that go around fucking women every day, 17,000 kids, and they're just real good. They know how to play the game. They know how to talk to women. They must be slinging that good old dick, no problem. But if a girl fucks around, she's a slut, she's a whore, she's a hooker, she's all this shit. That is the double standard that we're dealing with. And as much as men are about men, men are not treating all men like men. we're categorizing them and putting labels and allowing the relationships that we have that could be beautiful and unique to us be fucking ruined by bullshit. Which, like you said, we were all bullied for this shit. How the hell you gonna take that shit we were bullied for and move that into our own fucking personal community? Hot garbage.
Like, honestly, if you somebody out here is perpetuating that stereotype, go on ahead and drink some bleach for me, baby, and get back to me in a couple of days. But to me, just that shit's just completely just, to me, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And then, for the most part, if you, the people out here that are toxic masc and that you guys are praising for being toxic masc and, you know, all these people who are doing all the bottom shaming and everything, it's always something else wrong with them. It's always something else wrong with them. And they're usually fucking racist. That's usually, if they out here bottom shaming, the first thing that they are is racist. 9 times out of 10. That shit makes no fucking sense to me. You just gonna sit out here and allow this person to talk so much shit. Oh yeah, well, you know, bottoms are like this, or like, you know, I expect my bottoms to be like this and submissive, but you know, they're also, and it's just like, you, first of all, the person who's letting that person say that shit in front of them, fuck you, because you're not a good person. Like, y'all need to do better. You don't let somebody sit there and talk about somebody else in your community like that. What you gonna give this? You're gonna give this guy a pass for what? Because you feel like he's attractive? When he's out here perpetuating a negative stereotype that's definitely detrimental to our community. You gonna let him keep doing that and not say anything? You gonna let him get on social media and not drag him for that? You one of those people who do that? Fuck you. Because you're not really upholding, you're not here for all the community. You only here for what? You only cherry picking. You only trying to get what is advantageous to you. You need to be there for the fight for everyone. But instead, you gonna let some trash motherfuckers say this shit. And it be these same trash motherfuckers who popped up, was talking shit about black people, is racist as fuck, feels that all lives matter and all of that shit matters. Well, you wanna know what? I got a challenge for you motherfuckers. All gays matter. How about that? How about we do that? How about we put an emphasis on upholding each other, regardless of what gender they are, regardless of whether or not they're a bottom, whether they're top, whether they're verse. Why don't we all uphold each other for that? Why don't we all uplift each other? Why don't we do that instead of putting this emphasis on tops? Like, honestly, there are so many bottoms out here. And again, I'm going to say this shit, it might be part fantasy for me, but I also think that it should really fucking happen. I don't understand why bottoms aren't ruling fucking gay society in the first place. It's too many of them to start with. Really, really are. And the whole thing is that y'all, like, I seen a picture the other day and it was like this really like super just buff guy, hot as fuck, standing in a bikini and sunglasses. And there was like this little like, you know, limp looking guy next to him, didn't work out, kind of had acne, he had the little stink lines on him. And the guy with the stink lines, the little small dude, it said top and the other one said bottom. So that being said, and it's actually true, for the most part, bottoms are on point. They be the dudes who be working the hardest in the gym, lifting the hardest, you know, really interested in their health, taking better care of themselves and doing everything to make sure that they look right. Put these tops on blast. Make them go on ahead and aspire to be at your level. Don't settle for some little limp dick motherfucker just because that's how you need to get off. No, make them step their shit up. Stop praising these dudes just because they're tops and just because you're able to get your rocks off a little bit. Make these motherfuckers have to work for it. He wants in that pussy, he better work for it. And you tell all your fucking bottom girls, cut this boy off. He ain't worth it. If he gives you some bad sex, if he's disrespectful, if he says anything bad, and y'all already know you got a whole network of them, cut the motherfuckers off. You cut them off and you make these tops responsible for their actions and you hold them accountable for all of the bullshit that they do and the way that they treat each other, the way that they treat y'all, the conversations that they have and the way that they dress. Change the whole fucking community almost overnight. Because if a top can't get off, he will lose his shit. He will lose his shit completely. And he will do anything to go fuck somebody. And he'll fuck anybody that will let him. But if y'all cut him off and y'all stop being that one desperate person that allows him to fuck, and you be like, oh no, you talk shit about bottoms. No, baby. Cut them all off, they'll all change. They ain't gonna have a choice.
And on top of that, and this has to be full circle for this to work. bottoms out there, while I understand that masculinity and aspects of it, whether physically or sometimes even an attitude, might be appealing, stop putting that on a pedestal. The whole need for straight actingness and all that sort of shit is what's a part of the problem. And I understand that there can be a beautiful interconnection between you being you and being into something that's different. But the way it is right now, this masculinity shit, the toxic masculinity, all that kind of stuff is really just double down on hurting you. And the pursuit of that sort of thing for your sexual desires is part of what causes the cycle of fucked upness that we're dealing with. And also what Roro is mentioning, why they ain't worth shit or ain't trying to be shit. Because as far as you're concerned, he looked manly, he looked like a real man, therefore the dick might be good. First and foremost, probably not. Second of all, you probably won't get any pleasure out of it. Three's gonna come prematurely. And four, you wasted all your damn time. Stop the madness. It is a full circle effort, and as the majority, it can be done.
I agree. I totally agree. And we really have got to, we can't depend, just like Black people cannot depend on white people or anyone in the, not, well, white people and racist white people, excuse me. But just like how we can't depend on racist white people to change without taking them to the mat and screaming and rioting and basically giving them no other choice because we will no longer tolerate this shit. We have to be the same way with these tops that are out there. We have to be like, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Yeah, it might be a little hard at first, but the whole thing is, as a bottom, you can find other ways to get off. And you want to know, every now and then, you might need to slang some dick for your sis. Now, I know not everybody's going to subscribe to that shit, but the whole thing is that, you know, there are other ways for you to get off, and you may need to start exploring those options in an effort to cut some of these tops off and to make them act right. Now, I'm not saying cut off all tops. I'm just saying cut off the ones that you have problems with. Now, what y'all can do, what I think would be actually real good, is y'all set up a top as a fucking example and run him all the pussy. Because he treats y'all right, he acts right when he's in public, he's respectful and everything, and then y'all let it be known the reason why he getting so much ass from everybody is because y'all aren't gonna fuck nobody who's gonna talk shit about bottoms or treat them improperly. And this dude is out here doing the thing, treating y'all the right way, and giving y'all the respect and courtesy that you guys deserve. Shows up for the dick appointments, is showered, ready to go, ain't got no fucking problems, might bring you a little food or something, you know, when he shows up or afterwards. And he acts like you're a person the next day when you're in public. Hey, babe, how are you? Last night was great. Thank you. Thank you. Because you want to know what? You bottomed me. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let me get you a drink. You know, y'all could set somebody up like that and make him the example. And then that mentality would spread like wildfire because the tops that ain't getting laid is like, shit, this what I got to do to get some pussy. I may as well change who the hell I am.
That's right. Give praise where it's due, and in this case, give puss where it's due. And right now, there's a whole lot of puss going around to a bunch of unworthy, ungrateful assholes. And like Roro mentioned before, honestly, you might have that build up, but honestly, just masturbate. Masturbate, get yourself out that mode, get your headspace out of that need for something. You'll be surprised how much more you'll get done, and also how much less you'll hate men.
Lord, child, the men hating thing, that shit kills me. Like, y'all just, y'all, this shit be weighing so heavy on my mind sometimes because it's just like one thing, like, as somebody who I consider myself to be a good dude, and mind you, I've definitely been the villain in quite a few bottoms lives and stories. Like I have, but I try to do right. One thing that I will definitely tell you though is that as somebody who's a good person, and you know, I consider myself more of a top than I do verse, it hurts me when I see this, you know, anti-top language and just all men are trash and you know, tops are full of shit, blah blah blah. Correction, baby. All the men that you deal with the shit, all the tops in your life are trash. And I was telling a story yesterday on the live, but the main gist of it was is that I had another bottom gather me, snatch my wig, and scalp me, and I started to do better because as soon as I started topping, and when you realize that topping, there's a lot of power in topping. There's a whole lot. You can get a
And
whole lot of people to do a whole lot of things.
and that means nothing about a dick being in someone else's butthole. Topping is a method, not just an appendage going in a certain place.
It really is not. No, excuse me. No, I agree. I don't know what I'm saying. I think this drink is hitting a little hard. I should probably eat something. Um, but this bottom, literally, like, we have been fucking for a minute, and like, we had an incident that caused me to slow down and listen to him. And I found out that not only was I fucking him improperly, but I had not been paying attention to any of the clues that he was trying to give me the entire time. And this man was literally hitting me. So he literally sat me down and he's like, I don't like it when you do this. I like it when you do that. I don't like it when you do this. Do more of this. Do more of this. Blah, 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 blah. Pay attention when I say this, etc., etc. So I'm like, okay, cool. I listened to his instructions, right? I gave that boy 3 hands frees within the next 30 minutes. Like, this boy was nutting all over himself. Now, first of all, that's a huge confidence booster. But secondly, it completely opened my eyes because I was like, okay, dick does not just go in butt. Dick goes in butt and it has a job. It's got to do things. Like, I have to do this, blah, blah, and it's no longer dick goes in butt. Dick goes into a person. I am going into a person. I have a job to do. And so you stop fucking butts and you start fucking with the other person. It changes your entire sexual experience and it makes you stop being trash. And at that point, that's when I started communicating with the people who would bottom for me. That's when I started talking, finding out about all the things that people like, things that people don't like, stuff like that. And you'd be surprised at how quickly a conversation will cause everything to change. A little tiny bit of communication will go a long way, especially when it comes to sex. So if you're a bottom out there who is not communicating, you can't hold the top completely responsible. However, if you call that motherfucker out and you tell him he's trash and he needs to do X, Y, and Z, and he doesn't do X, Y, and Z, cut him off. Cut him off. Find you somebody that will.
Agreed. And one thing we need to do is, I'm going to call this the dick version of the fear of missing out. It is okay to not go back to that last dick you went to. It is fine. You might think it means it's readily available. You might think there's a greater chance, an easier path to getting dick down the day. Do not go back. You are better off not having this sham of a sex life with these worthless motherfuckers you then, you know, sought after and desired and hit up and sent your butthole to 20 times and all this shit. No, you will be better off letting them go because they also need to know that they don't have that control over you. And believe you me, there will be another thirsty ass bottom that will be all happy to get that subpar penis. But for your own self respect, don't do it. Because if you are something of quality, like Roro said, you want them bottoms that care about how you look, keep yourself together, look nice, work out, and you over here lowering your quality to get subpar, uneducated, stupid, hateful, racist penis. Girl, that's just an affront to all the work you put in. And honestly, quality tots will probably look at you like, oh, you did that? That's making you look bad too. So I'm just saying, there is a group collective here that you need to consider at all times.
Sorry, y'all. I was taking another drink. So, ooh, it hit me. Girl, I don't know what it is about Sailor Jerry's and some Dr. Pepper, but I believe in you.
She
I
gets you together.
believe. But the whole thing is that y'all babies, you gotta go out. We have to change the mentality. We gotta flip the script on these motherfuckers. And the whole thing is I don't care. Like, a lot of people say that we should not be putting people in echo chambers. But my whole thing is, if you've been placed in the echo chamber, somebody warned you first. Somebody told you about yourself. So if this is a bum ass top out here, and you put him in the echo chamber, guess what? You done already told him. He's already been warned. So he's being placed in this echo chamber as a consequence of his own actions. Do not let these motherfuckers fool you. You don't be out here letting people make you feel a kind of way. And like Alizar said, one of the things that y'all really have to be up on is the fact that, you know, if you over here fucking a trash top who's racist and all this other shit, just like how all bottoms talk to each other, all tops talk to each other. They really do. Everybody kind of passes everybody around like trading cards. So all tops is going to be like, you know, oh, you fucked him? You top for this man? Okay, well, first of all, I know this man is not into checking into his sexual health, and he hasn't had an STI test in 6 years, and he brags about it.
Yep, that'll be one of the first things we'll go.
That's one of the first ways that you can get ruled out, because you'll hit a top up who, you know, should by all rights be attracted to you. You are all rights attracted to. But he's like, oh, you fucked him? Girl, you're not touching me. Hold up. No, we need to wait at least 6 weeks because I don't know what special brand chlamydia this motherfucker got, but I don't fucking want it. I heard that shit's antibiotic resistant. He ain't been able to get rid of that syphilis infection he's had for 7 years, girl. I don't want to deal with that shit. You might want to get yourself checked. But that's a real thing that happens. We talk. We be like, oh, But the other thing is we going to be like, how desperate were you to fuck this man? Clearly, something is wrong with you that you had sex with this man and you out here telling everybody about it, despite everybody telling you that that's a bad person. Something is off with you. We not doing, girl, don't even look at me. I'll whip your ass. I'll fight you right now. Like, so realize that that's like an actual real conversation. And by that, like, you know, because we have this network and everybody is talking and, you know, passed around, like, I was sitting at a table yesterday talking to somebody about somebody else's, you know, telling one person in the couple about how certain things that their boyfriend likes that he wasn't aware of. And I'm like, well, we used to fuck. So these are things that he likes. And he's like, oh shit, I never tried that. So, you know, it's, information goes back and forth and trades that way. And it's perfectly normal. And we also need to normalize the fact that we need to be able to talk about sex amongst our friends. It's not a taboo thing. We're all doing it. We all know we all doing it. Like, grow the fuck up.
Yep, every time you ghost me or you don't show up or you come up late, I know you were fucking someone.
And I probably, more than likely, probably know who the fuck it is. Probably know who it is. And you want to know what? That's sis. And I'll probably be sitting over there like, that motherfucker canceled the dick on me. And sis will probably be like, baby, I would have canceled on him if I knew it was going to be that bad. You've been putting up with this shit? Hold up. I got a top over here in my pocket that just happened to come into town today. I'm going to give him your number. Y'all need to go on ahead and hook up because his dick spits hot fire. Go on ahead and get this motherfucker. Let him wreck your guts, baby. Matter of fact, I've already sent him a picture of your ass and told him that you over at my house. Get your puss clean to come on over. We'll all start drinking and I'll let y'all go fuck in the bedroom. At least that's the kind of bitch that I am. I do that. And my friends can testify. It's a whole lot of people who done fucked in my bedroom that was not me and I wasn't even there. I set it up though.
Look, I'm gonna let y'all know that Roro, in terms of the bottom takeover, is a protected citizen for what he's done. Bottoms, I'm letting you know, he's a protected citizen. Do you hear this shit? Do you hear this shit? No, y'all ain't ever heard this shit before, because nobody do shit like this. But all I have to say, very specifically, is the more you find yourself in situations where you're dealing with people who are subpar, and this is across the board, whether it's friendships, dealing with tops, fucking around, at some point you have to bring back to you and you have to ask, why are you dealing with these people? Why are you adding more to this stress or this dislike of people? And honestly, as much as you want to get your rocks off, girl, as much as that person may be hot, you might just have to double down and be like, look, this is not the time to participate in this tomfoolery. Let me get myself together. Let me jack off a whole lot more. Let me only hit up the tops I remember that were good to me or did it right or didn't treat me like shit and focus on them. Because if the getting was good, they'll probably be ready for it again at some point. And until then, girl, stop playing in the shit pit. Stop playing in the shit pit. So I know some people like that, but apparently they ain't you. Don't do
Not
it.
the shit pit, Jesus. Not the shit pit. But the shit, what the fuck was I gonna say, Lord? Uh, and that's something else that bottoms can do to establish that kind of thing. There is not a top in all of gaydom where a bottom will call them who put that good puss on him, and he won't do something to schedule you in. Like, I mean, me personally, if you was a good bottom to me, and you hit me up and you just like, bruh, like, Roro, I need some fucking dick. Like, bruh, I'd be like, I might need you to wait a day or two. I may be busy, I may not. But if you somebody who put that puss on me and you offering it to me again, I'm coming to get it. I'm coming to get it because it was some good puss. Like I'm coming for it. Like I'm about to bust them Bucci walls all the way down. It's just a matter of scheduling. If you put it on me and it was bad, I'm not even going. I might leave you on red, to be perfectly honest, just to let you know that you have fucked up. But if you put it on me and it was good, I'm headed your way. Get you an Old Faithful, to be perfectly honest. Get you an Old Faithful, or get a couple of verse friends. Put them on the goddamn rotation or something. But get you people. If masturbation is not your thing, and you need to have sex, get you an Old Faithful. Get you somebody who's stable. Sex is good. Treat you right. Maybe wants some strings, maybe doesn't. But at least you two can be adults and have sex. And at the end of the day, everything is fine. Get you a stable person like that in your life. That way, you are not out here making these horrid ass decisions and perpetuating these tops continuing to be fucking horrible out here in the fucking community.
Facts. I ain't got nothing else to add. Literally the point.
Well, I ain't got shit else to say either. I mean, to me, this is just it's a discussion that needed to be had. Like I I hurt for my bottom bros. I really do. And I really think that we just need to get these tops in fucking line. So I really hope that you guys take this stuff to heart.
And it's also one of those things where I think, because Roro said it best, and I think that's like the end all be all, is that we go through enough together as a group, as an LGBTQ group. We put up with a lot of shit. Most of the stuff we do to each other, there's no fucking good excuse. Period. At all, ever. We need a lot of self-reflection in our fucking community, whether it's about racism, bottom shaming, masculinity, femininity, all that shit that shouldn't matter. We need to get it together.
Girls, we really do. But I feel like that's all we really have for you guys today. Y'all know this is Deep Tank Discussions. If you don't, please go on ahead and remember us. Don't forget to like, comment, and please, baby, please subscribe. Also, please make sure that you guys, when I say like and comment, like and comment. Let us know if you guys like this stuff. Leave us those comments so we can actually do episodes like this where we can talk to you guys about things that you would like to hear about and things that you would like to be addressed in the community or just, over social media and whatever. Please let us know. We do not mind doing this stuff. This has been fun for both of us. Definitely, it's been an ongoing conversation, so I'm glad somebody finally asked so we could put this together for y'all. But don't forget, you guys can catch us across all forms of social media. Right now, the big ones are definitely going to be YouTube and Podbean. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. So remember, it's going to be deep dank discussions on all those things, specifically for Podbean, deepdankdiscussions.podbean.com. And then with Twitter, it's going to be Deep Dank Discuss with one S and one at the end because the name was too damn long. But otherwise, you should have no problem finding us. And also stay tuned, keep connected, because if you want to be a part of our little live streams on the weekend, stay tuned for that too, so you can join in and, have fun with me and Roro.
Yeah, that live stream was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for coming out for that. I love that. That was some. I don't care what nobody says. We had a great time. So yeah, and don't forget, come drink with us, spark up, take you a gummy. But
Just
come get
one,
deep.
not more than
Right?
one, with cookies.
Come get deep and take with us. All right, y'all. We're over at this point. Bye.
Bye.